Doing well in Texas. I am working a crisis contract. I do work 6 days a week, sort of contact form, some way for you to fill out a lead submission. You can ask yourself, do you want a crisis assignment? Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to my channel. If you guys are new, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below as well as the little bell so you'll get a notification every time I post a new video. So yes, I am back with a new video. Once again, you guys can tell that I am in a different place, in a different location. The very last video that I uploaded for you guys, I was staying in my motorhome in Florida. I was starting a new contract there, but things transpired shortly after that, and I am back in Texas. So my parents drove my motorhome to South Carolina for me, and I took off the next day on a plane to come out to El Paso. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do, because that's usually where I'm posting a lot and just kind of updating social media and just kind of updating like my daily life vlog, so to speak. So I am now back in Texas. I am working another crisis COVID contract. So yeah, I just want to sit down and talk to you guys and kind of tailor this video around traveling for the first time. I get a lot of questions in my DM, especially now with kind of this second surge, the second wave of COVID that's coming around, and the height of travel nurses just jumping on contracts left and right. A lot of people are finally now wanting to take the leap if they've never traveled before. So I have some tips, some tricks, things I want to talk to you about if you literally have no idea where to start, but you know you want to start traveling. So if that is you, and you know that you want to start traveling as a nurse or honestly any healthcare provider, then please keep watching. Okay guys, so when I started traveling at the beginning of this year, I was like so many people. I knew I wanted to be a travel nurse, but I honestly did not know where to start. So I had to use my resources. I got online and I started typing up travel nurse agencies. Now there are so many out there. Of course, you're going to want to know who's the best one to go with. How do you even get started? So after I at least did that initial legwork and found some agencies, looked at their reviews on the Better Business Bureau and a couple other agencies, then I just narrowed that list down. And then I went to Facebook. Now, yes, you can find anything on Facebook, but I went specifically for groups. Now, groups can be the best way for you to network with people. So I searched for travel nurse groups. Now, I will list a couple down below in the description box that have been very helpful for me as a travel nurse. One of them is called Travel Gypsies. I think that's the name, but it's going to be in the description box. So you have to use your resources. Once I joined that group and I had access to post in the group, I just did a little introduction of who I was, that I wanted to travel, and that these were X number of agencies I was looking into. And you're going to have a swarm of people contacting and replying saying, yes, I've traveled with this company and I recommend them, or no, I don't. And that's how you can begin the very first portion of your legwork. Now, moving forward, let's say you have a company. So prime example, you have company A. You've already set your mind on that's the company you want to work with. You reach out to them. You look on their website. A lot of companies, if they are a truly reputable travel nursing agency, they are going to list their hot jobs, their jobs that are available right now on their website. There should be some sort of contact form, some way for you to fill out a lead submission so that a recruiter can get back in touch with you. And that's exactly what I did with the very first company I started traveling with. Looked online, saw all the jobs they had available across the US. This was way before COVID even started. So I was just looking at all types of jobs in the ICU, just in the US. You fill out that lead submission form and a recruiter will get back to you. Once a recruiter gets back to you, this is when the process can really start rolling. Sometimes a lot quicker than you expect. Especially now with the height of the pandemic, we have so many needs across the US that it can be a very quick onboarding process. Once you start meeting with the recruiter, this is when you, as a travel nurse, or any healthcare provider, but because I am a travel nurse, I'm speaking directly to my travel nurses out there. This is when you need to lay it out on the line with your recruiter, what you are looking for and what you are not looking for. You're looking for something on the West Coast. You're looking for something on the East Coast. You're open to anything. You're only looking for days. You're only looking for nights. You don't care if you have to have a rotating shift. You're going to be traveling with just yourself. You're going to be traveling with a partner. You're going to be traveling with your whole family and a dog. Like, all of this stuff matters. So this is when you need to start building that connection with your recruiter. Now, honestly, yes, sometimes recruiters can be pushy, but if you feel like they're becoming way too overbearing, that's you. You have the right to say, hey, I'm just trying to look. I don't know if I want to submit for any jobs quite yet. Or if you know that you do want to start submitting for a job, then the recruiter will take all of your information and create a profile for you. They're going to need everything under the sun that you can think of: your name, your age, your background, a resume, just everything. It's kind of tailored more specific to certain agencies. So I'll just say, they're going to get a lot of information from you, create a nice profile for you, and they need to know your experience. It is honestly best to have experience before you travel. A lot of agencies want you to have at the most 2 years of experience before you start traveling, but some agencies will take you if you have at least 1 year. So, with that being said, let's transition into another aspect when you're looking for an assignment. When you're looking for an assignment, you need to think about what type of assignment are you wanting to take. Now, given the height of the pandemic and what's going on right now, you can ask yourself, do you want a crisis assignment, or do you want what I like to call a standard assignment, whether that's an ICU, med surg, or whatever. I'm going to use myself as an example in the ICU just so you guys can understand. So when I started traveling, I was looking for just regular contracts. These were your ICU positions where you work 3 to 4 days a week, and then you have the rest of the time off. But if you want overtime, if the facility allows, you can pick up overtime. That's a regular contract. Now, it wasn't until the pandemic started and we started getting these hot crisis jobs that those are the ones that I started tailoring myself more towards. These crisis jobs have a very quick onboarding. They have a very quick time for you to be ready to get to your destination. A lot of them will not allow for you to take time off. So that's something that you need to understand as well. If you take a standard contract, you can negotiate your time off throughout that contract. Like, let's say you want, a week off in whatever random month, then you can negotiate that into your contract. A lot of these crisis contracts, you don't get to negotiate any of your time off. It's a set 4, 8, 13-week assignment, or however long it is. You don't get any time off. Bada boom, bada bang, you show up, you start working. Also, with these crisis contracts, you have to understand that you will be working a lot of hours. That's how they're able to market this total pay. I know you guys have seen travel nurse jobs out there that are, $4, $5, $6 on up $1,000 a week because they're listed as crisis contracts. So, like I said, to digress a little bit, ask yourself, are you looking for a crisis contract, or are you looking for a regular contract? Now, a lot of contracts are going to be more centered around COVID and the crisis, and you have to know your limits. If you know that you don't want to work with COVID patients, you have to understand that some of the facilities might have you float around if floating is part of your job duty. So let's get back on to picking a contract. Let's say you've picked a contract. So we'll just pick a standard contract. Let's say you've worked with your recruiter, you found one, it's 13 weeks, it's out in Kalamazoo somewhere, and you're ready to go. So once you find that contract that you like, and you and your recruiter have talked about this is when your information is submitted to the facility. A lot of times facilities will get the nursing manager and they will call you for an over-the-phone interview just to know a little more about you and to know your background. Some facilities will do just a quick submission and give you the job offer without even talking to you. If they're in that great of a need, they'll look over all the information that the recruiter sent them, say, hey, I like what this person looks like on paper, go ahead and send them an offer. And you will have never talked to anybody at the facility to do a phone interview or anything. Some facilities do like online interviews where you kind of type in answers to questions and scenarios and then do voice recordings for certain questions as well, just so they can kind of hear your voice and see how you would answer certain situations. So it just depends on the facility that you are submitting to for the job. So let's say you got the phone interview, you took the 13-week assignment, you're going to be out in Kalamazoo, you're ready to go. You're all packed up, it's time to go. You have to stay in touch with your recruiter. As much as they've helped you along the way, it is very important that you do stay in touch with your recruiter just to let them know, like, hey, you're on your way, whether you have to travel there by plane, train, bus, or car. Like, they just need to be in the loop for everything. You need to make sure that you let them know if there's something you don't have. If you don't have onboarding, first day reporting instructions from the facility, you need to let your recruiter know so they can get that information from the hospital and get it to you. But a lot of recruiters are really on top of it, at least the ones that I've worked with so far. So they know exactly what they need to get to you before your very first start date. So I know I've been talking a lot. I know this might be a lot of information, especially if you are new to the world of traveling or you're trying to just dive into being a travel nurse and you just really don't know where to start. So that was the purpose of this video today. I just wanted to kind of ease in and to let you guys know that this is kind of how you start and kind of how the process goes. A lot of the fine details I didn't touch on because that comes as you talk with your recruiter. Your pay, your stipend, you looking for housing is something that you could do on your own. So these little fine details you will figure out on your own. But it all takes strategic planning, and that's the one thing about travel nurses. It takes strategic planning, but yet you also have to be very flexible. And so I think that's the one thing that I love so far about being a travel nurse. I love the flexibility. I love the options to just go statewide, work anywhere, honestly, that I choose. Because as a nurse and as someone who's traveling, you get to have the option to go where you want to go when you're speaking with these recruiters. So I just wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit about this. Let me know if this has been helpful for you guys in the comment section. If you guys want more videos like this, we can dive into more of like nitty-gritty details, or I can do another more specific detailed video. But I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys. It's been a little while. I'm doing well in Texas. I am working a crisis contract. I do work 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts with only 1 day off. So yeah, like I said, if you guys are interested in how things are going in El Paso, make sure you follow me on Instagram because I try to keep it updated as much as I can. And as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.